Hey guys, welcome back to Jamaicans.com. I am your host and resident nutritionist, Deborah. I'm so happy to have you. So let's talk nutrition with Deborah. That is the name of the show. Once again, very happy to have you. So I'm just going to jump right in this week. I hope you all have been doing well. How is your week going? As you're coming in, let me know how you're doing. I already see a few of you coming in. Tamika, happy to have you guys. So let's first just say a huge thank you to Jamaicans.com for having us. Maybe just close the window. For having us on this platform. It's truly an honor. I'm blessed to be on here with you guys, and you guys are blessed to have me because you want to know why? Nutrition is so important. It's something that we have to pay close attention to, especially nowadays, as you guys know. So truly excited to be here with you guys on this Monday at 6 o'clock. 6:02 right now still, but yeah, good to have you guys. So let's jump right in. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself for those of you who are on for the first time and have never seen me before. So as I said before, my name is Deborah. I'm a nutritionist, specifically a plant-based nutritionist. So I focus on plant eating, encouraging people to eat plants, somewhat similar to being a vegan, but I don't like that word too much because people who are vegan eat all sorts of things. And so plant-based eating. So that's a little bit about me. I'm also, I'm forgetting quite a few things. So I am also a community health nutritionist in my community in the Bronx, which is where I live. I was transplanted from Jamaica, so I'm born and raised Yad, and then came here many years ago. And so have been here living in the Bronx and teaching nutrition education. Most recently, I work with churches, I work with community centers, and senior centers, a lot of community organizations. I absolutely love what I do. It's a real passion of mine, and I'm just excited about nutrition, clearly. Yes, so as you guys are coming in, let me know again where you are watching me from, and also share this video. We're going to be talking about sleep this evening. A few more things about me before I go on. I hold a master's degree in nutrition. Additionally, I founded a company called My Temple Wellness, and the company name was based on the scripture that says that don't you know your body's a temple of the Holy Spirit. And so I absolutely want you guys to check that out. If you want to know more about what I do with My Temple Wellness, you can go to my website, which is mytemplewellness.com. You can also follow me on my social media handles, which is Instagram, My Temple Wellness, Facebook, it's the same, My Temple Wellness. And those are great because you can communicate with me, as a lot of people have been doing. They've been communicating, asking questions, and so it's really great to follow those social media handles because you can reach me quite quickly on social media. But you can also email me if you go to my website. There's a great way for you to contact me through that as well. So yeah, so that's what it is about me. As you're coming in, make sure you're sharing this, make sure you're liking and tagging your friends. We're going to be talking about sleep, guys. Hugely important topic, right? Especially in the climate we're in. A lot of people are stressed, a lot of people are depressed, a lot of people are overeating, and we're just not sleeping at night. And a lot of times when I do these shows, I'm doing them because a lot of times it affects me as well. And so it helps me to come and share with you what I'm experiencing and for us to talk together. You know, you tell me what I want with you, I tell you what I want with me, right? So this show is, it's not just here to help you guys, it's actually helping me too, because as I do my research and I study to speak with you guys, I'm actually getting some new information along the way myself. All right, so before we get into the sleep topic, I do want to say thank you to everybody who was on last week, Monday's show. We talked about iron deficiency anemia, huge topic. I got a lot of emails. I got so many emails. I think probably the show that I did that I got the most folks reaching out to me about was the iron deficiency anemia show last week. So if you have not seen it yet, please go check it out. You are going to learn quite a bit. And you know, there was so much covered, but people are still asking for more. I got an email actually even today asking me to cover some more and to get into fibroids, which a lot of people struggle with fibroids, something I shared last week about my own personal story. So you guys look out for that. I'll tag it on to the list of topics that I'm going to be covering. I'll add, I'll put one in to cover fibroids and just a lot of these issues that we're facing, right? So you could look for that. But tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about sleep. All right, and the topic of tonight, let's talk nutrition with Deborah, is eat to sleep. So I'm probably more than likely going to be covering the material over the space of 2, maybe 3 weeks. I'm hoping to get everything done by next week. But the material is so much, and I don't want to shortchange you guys. So this week we're going to cover a portion of the material. Next week we'll finish up everything. All right, because sleep, the effects of sleep, some of the things that bring us issues in our sleeping, it's so vast, and so I don't want to just cover, you know, the nutrition aspect. I want to kind of go into some of the other areas as well, that I think would be really useful for you guys. All right, so let's get right into the topic. But before I do that, I'd like to say hi to those of you who are here. So Tamika, welcome. Any of you on, just please give me a wave. Let me know you guys are here. Let me know that you are watching. And again, where you're watching from, it's always nice to see you guys come on, and let me know where you're coming in from. All right, and also let me know if you are struggling with sleep and if that's why you're joining, or if you're just joining because you love my show. All right, so guys, let's get right into the topic tonight. So let's talk about the things first and foremost that affect our sleep. So there's a few things. The main one that we know is the diet, which is what we're going to be focusing a lot of our attention on, will be diet. And a lot of us have digestive issues, and that's caused by the foods that we're eating. And so our system is slowed down significantly at night, and so it's very hard for us to fully digest our food properly when we're not eating, when we're eating late, number one, but when we're also not eating the foods that are good to be eaten late at night, or later in the day rather. All right, so diet is one of the things that affect our sleep. Stress, problems, issues, right? Right now, I would say stress is on a much higher level than it usually is, and that's due to the COVID pandemic that we're all facing right now, worldwide. So wherever you are right now watching this, most of us have stress, and I would love to see a person right now during COVID that said, no, I'm not stressed about nothing. I mean, maybe you're not stressing about COVID, but maybe something else. I don't know, unemployment. There's just so many things that's affecting us, right? The uprising in the African American community, trying to get, you know, these systemic racism issues addressed. So there's so many different things that are causing us to be stressed out. So food, stress, lack of certain vitamins like vitamin D, B12, all of those, which we're going to get into a little bit more, which I'll talk more about. So that's one of the reasons we're not getting enough sleep, because we don't have sufficient vitamins and minerals, the required ones. Pain. Oh my goodness, pain. Have you ever been in pain and tried to go to your bed? What happened when you try to go to your bed with pain? You can't sleep if you have pain, right? Sometimes you can take a pain killer to maybe ooze the pain, or ease the pain rather, but somehow you're going to probably wake up at some point again in the middle of the night, because the pain will, the pain medication will wear off, and naturally you're going to wake back up. So pain is one of the reasons that we have sleep issues. And then the natural environment that you're in. So let's say where you live, sometimes for me, there's like a construction thing happening. There was a construction thing happening close by where I live, and so that had me up. You know, I was trying to sleep, but I couldn't sleep because every now and then I would hear the drilling or whatever they were doing, you know, not that long ago. And it was happening during COVID, which, you know, it was kind of like on top of COVID, I'm stressed, I can't sleep. And now the drilling outside, you know, my window. So those are some of the things that affect us. If you have a partner that has sleep apnea and they're snoring, that's something that also affects you, right? So the environment that you might not necessarily have control over, that also affects your sleep. So, and some people are just light sleepers, but the environment that you're in plays a huge role in your sleep. All right, so we're gonna go over some basics, some sleeping 101 things that I want you guys to know, but I want to give you guys some hope. I don't want to have you on here feeling scared and think that I have sleep issues. I've had them for years. You know, what makes her think that she can help me with that? Well, I tell you what, between this week and next week, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to get at least 3 tips that's going to help you to sleep better if you take the action, right? Because everything involves taking action. You have to do something in order to reap the benefits, right? So I'm going to be sharing with you some tips. You have to now put them in action once we're done, and let's see what happened. And I have a quiz for you guys too. So if you can get a pen and a paper, you know, that would be great, but also you can use your phone if you can't. So yeah, don't worry about the fact that you are in a certain position right now with your sleep habit. We're going to address it. We're going to find ways to identify. People have gotten over sleep issues. You can get over sleep issues. I'm working on getting over all my sleep issues, and I can already tell you I have seen improvements. I've made some small changes, and I see huge changes already in my sleeping. So I want to encourage you that stay tuned. You're going to get some tips on how to do that. So we're going to go into the quiz right now. All right, so let's do that, guys. Let's get into the quiz. So the way this quiz is going to work, guys, I'm going to give you questions, and I want you to rate them. All right, so from 0 to 5. So 0, let's start over. So the quiz is basically to determine whether or not, and to help you understand what issues you might be having with sleep, and how the extent to which your sleep is affecting your life. Okay, so we want to determine that first, because I think that's very important. It's important for us to understand first, you know, is sleep truly affecting my life, or is it not a problem? Because for some people, they're getting enough sleep, they're energized, this is not a concern. All right, so this quiz will give you a good example of that. So I want you guys to write it down. I'm talking to give you a chance to go get a pen. If you didn't hear that before, get a pen and paper, or pencil and paper, and we're going to do this quiz together. All right, so I'm going to read the questions, and as you answer the question, this is what you're basically going to be doing. You're going to be doing a score. So from 0 to 5. Now 0 means that you've never experienced what I'm going to read. Never, right? Never. And 5 means it happens frequently. Okay, so whatever I'm reading, again, it's either 5 happens frequently. You're going to put down a score of 5 if it happens frequently. You're going to put down a score of 0 if it never happened to you. Okay, now if for some reason you fall somewhere in between where you think this kind of happened but not as often, put down, like, let's say a 3. Okay, and then at the end we'll add them up, and I'm going to give you guys the key so you can understand where you fall and what action you can take. Okay, so first question. Okay, and if you need me to repeat, please type it so I can see that you need me to repeat this information or repeat a question. Okay, all right, so my cameraman is also going to take the test. He's looking for paper. Here you go. I'll tell you where he lands. All right, guys, so first question, let's get into it. Number 1, there's 10 questions. I'm going to read them quick, so write down your numbers, and at the end I'll tell you, I'll break it down for you. So number 1, I need caffeine or tea to feel awake in the morning. So you remember, 0 if you never need it, 5 if you frequently need it, 3 if you barely need it. All right, so I'll repeat that. I need caffeine or tea to feel awake in the morning. Number 2, it takes me several hours after waking to not feel groggy. That's number 2. Okay, so you're feeling groggy when you wake up, and it takes you several hours to kind of come to yourself. All right, 5 if that happened a lot, 0 if it never happened, 3 if it happened here and there. Number 3, I did not wake up feeling refreshed. Okay, I did not wake up feeling refreshed. And refreshed just mean, like, you know, I felt good, I got a good night's sleep, I can carry on with my day. All right, so if you did not wake up feeling refreshed. Number 4, I did not fall asleep easily last night, meaning you fell asleep within 10 minutes, or let's say 30 minutes is too much, so it needs to be before 30 minutes. Okay, so if you were tossing and turning for an hour, then that was an easy sleep, right? So that's a gauge for you guys. All right, so if you didn't fall asleep easily last night, then gauge that. And it doesn't just have to be last night, it could be your consistent thing that you do, right? Number 5, anxious thoughts kept me up last night. So if anxious thoughts, worrisome things had you up last night, or frequently rather, put down 5. Number 6, I felt wired and tired last night. So wired and tired, meaning you're tired, but you're so wired you can't sleep. All right, I hope that kind of give you some help. I felt wired and tired. So you're wired and you can't sleep. Okay, number 7. I woke frequently throughout the night. So if you're waking up constantly through the night, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, if that happens on a frequent basis, put 5. All right. Number 8, we have, number 8. I noticed hitting a wall with my energy or productivity during the day. So at some point during the day, if you're just coming on, guys, we're taking a quiz. I'm going to post this quiz on My Temple Wellness after the show's over. So if you don't get to take the quiz, if you came on while we're taking the quiz in the middle of it, I'm going to share the quiz questions and the results, right? So you can do it yourself after, just in case you're not able to get the pen. And also if you want to look at it later if you came on late. All right. So, okay, so now we're at number 9. My eyes feel dry, heavy, and tired. So, you know, if your eyes, like I know for me, when I go look in the mirror and I see my eyes like this, low eyes, you know, versus good, nice, bright eyes, right? Once again, 5 is frequently happen, 0 if it doesn't. Last one, 10. I felt irritable or extra sensitive today. So irritability, people getting on your nerves that normally they don't get on your nerves, or things bothering you that don't normally bother you. Okay? All right, guys. So if you were with us this whole time and you took the quiz, and if you weren't and you want to get the thing, what I want you to do right now is take a moment, add those up. Okay? Add those up, and then I'm going to read to you where you fall. And when I read these, right, you're going to, it's like a score. You're basically scoring yourself to see where you land, right? When you get your number, you don't have to tell me what it is. But you can if you want to share it with us. That would be nice too. Remember, guys, as you come on, let me know you are here. Hit the like button, do something so I know that you guys are with me, all right? I'm seeing a few people on. I want to hear from you guys, so let me know if you're here. All right, so add up your score. I'm giving you a second to do that. All right, guys, so you can use a calculator if you want. Totally fine, no judgment zone. All right, guys. Okay, you finished? If you need more time, let me know. Put a comment if you need more time. All right, guys, I'm gonna assume you're done. I think my cameraman is done, so therefore maybe you're finished too. I'm just gonna make an assumption. All right, guys, so let's go down the list and you're going to see what number range you fall in. Okay, so from 0 to 10, this is what your number will represent. Okay, so I'm giving you what your number will represent right now. So if you add up your number and you fell between a 0 and a 10, that means you're sleeping great. Keep it up, okay? If you fall between 0 and 10, you're sleeping great. You have no real health, sleep issues. Keep that up. If you fell between 11 and 30, you definitely on the right track, but a few small adjustments could make a big difference in your sleep quality. So if you fell between 11 and 30, which I would say a decent amount of the population is going to fall between 11 and 30. I fell within that range myself. So you're sleeping decent, but you could do better. So the light adjustments will help you. If you're between 31 and 50, there's room for improvement, lots of room for improvement. You're likely feeling some serious energy and mood and productivity deficits. So you're not feeling productive, your mood is down, all of those things are being affected if you fall between 31 and 50. Now, if you fall, and this is the last category, between 51 and above, if you go above 50, you need some sleep rehabilitation ASAP. And that's why I wanted to do this with you guys, because there are some people, believe it or not, you might not have fallen in that category, but there are a lot of people who fall in this category. Specifically, about 40%, this fly come from, about 40% of the population is a fruit fly. 40% of the population fall in this category where you actually need to get some sleep rehabilitation done right away. So keep that in mind, guys. All of us, I would say, need some extra help, whether it's a small amount or a large amount. The group to be concerned is if you scored a 50 or above 50. And even if you're at 50 or 45, I would still say you want to look into it, okay? Especially if this has been going on for a long period of time. If this is a short period, if this is something that just happened just for like, let's say a week or two or something like that, it's a little bit different than if it's something that's been going on for a long period of time. So seek help, get to a doctor. They have doctors that are specifically tailored to see your regular doctor, and they can always recommend you. I know when I was struggling at one point, I had some issues that I was dealing with work related, and I went to see my regular doctor. He actually gave me prescription drugs, which I was not a fan of, and so I never took them because prescription drugs, when you take all these sleeping pills, they're going to help you to sleep, but they're going to give you a whole host of other issues. Now, as you know, on this show, I am not a medical doctor, so I'm not telling you to go and obviously you can't get sleeping pills without seeing your doctor, but I would personally not recommend that doing that, especially because of all the other adverse effects that can come from taking sleeping pills. So your goal would be first to, sit through a class like this that we're going to be doing tonight and next week, and then you'll be able to maybe help yourself first. Do the helpful tips that I'm going to provide, do them first, and then if they don't work, and you have to really do them, guys. You actually have to really do them. If they don't work, then you can always go and do that. But if it's immediate and you're having real issues, because sleep is extremely important for the body to function properly. There's a lot of health issues, such as cancer, that comes from people not sleeping well. I know it sounds crazy, but there's a lot of health issues that come from people not sleeping well, and so it's very important. It's critically important for us to get our sleeping intact. All right, so let's quickly go into a few things. We're already going. Time is running so fast because I knew rather that the quiz was going to take a little bit of time, so that's why I know I have to break this into at least 2 weeks. So you have a few different stages of sleep, guys, and I want to talk to you about them. So you got stage 1, which is light sleep. This is when you first go lay down, and it's like should only last about a few minutes, so 3 to 5 minutes or so. That's your stage 1 of sleep. You're transitioning from being awake to going into the sleep state. Okay, that's the first stage of sleep. That's when you notice your heart rate is starting to slow down, your eyes are flickering a little bit, you even have some twitching happening. I don't know if you guys ever had like one of these twitch things that occurred. So yeah, that's one of the things that can happen at that stage. Okay, so just be aware of that. Then you have what's called the Non-Rem Stage 2, which is a slightly deeper sleep. So you're just starting to go into the deep sleep. God forbid somebody wake you up during that time, you would not be happy, right? And so everything is starting to slow down at that point, right? The heart rate is going down, your temperature, body temperature is also going down. And this state, guys, it's about 60% of your sleep is during this space of non-REM stage 2 sleep. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now you have what's called a non-REM stage 3 and 4. This is deep sleep. Okay, now this is the state that is extremely important for your body to refresh itself for the next day. Okay, this is the stage where things are happening with your memory. You're storing things from the day, right? So whatever you saw during the day, whether it's a billboard or TV commercials, your body is basically handling all of that during that state. So you need to get into that non-REM deep sleep, because if you don't get to that stage, obviously you're not going to you're not going to wake up the next day. Remember the question? Feeling refreshed. You're not going to wake up feeling accomplished, like you got a good night's sleep. You're just going to be exhausted. That's about 20% of your sleep. Okay, that part. The stage 3 and stage 4 non-REM sleep is about 20% of your sleep. And that's really vital. And you want to really remember that you need to get into that stage. There's the final stage, which is the REM sleep. Rapid eye movement, that's what they call it. And that's, again, somewhat deep, but that's when you're starting to wake up. Okay, the body is starting to get itself. And so a lot of times when you wake up, you notice you might forget your dream. That's like also the dream state. So you're dreaming at that state. And so you might wake up early, your alarm clock goes off. And that stage, it's important too, because it's somewhat of a part of the deep sleep. All right. And so all the stages are important, but like I said, deep sleep is important. Now, here are some of the things that it's important for. Brain healing, okay? It's important for healing your brain, for your memory storage. So if you find yourself losing, forgetting things, it's because your memory storage is not really, working well because you're not sleeping well enough. And I can tell you The other day I was on a show with Leo Gilling. I don't know if you guys watch his show, but I was on a show and I did not get enough sleep. And he asked me a question, and I was just talking to him about, yeah, you know, plant-based people, we have good clarity of mind and all this stuff. And next thing you know, he asked me a question, and within, I don't know, a minute or so, we took a second, we were going in between, and I completely forgot what the question was. And he's like, really? So you said that plant-based eating gives you mental clarity? So guys, that day I did not sleep. The night before I had a terrible night of sleep. I don't even remember why, but I prove it in so many instances when I am off my game, where I'm just like not functioning properly because I did not get a good night's sleep. So my memory was off, my brain was just a little bit foggy. And then also it helps with your hormone regulation, right? So all of us, we all have hormones in our bodies, so clearly this affects all of us if we don't get good night's sleep. Growth, so like for children and also for adults too, at some point we're still having some things that grow. Detoxification, people have been asking me about doing a show on detoxification. Guys, if you are not getting enough sleep, your body is not detoxing itself. Your body's not able to get rid of all the toxins that's built up throughout the day, right? All the things that you're eating throughout the day, your liver has to deal with it. And I'm going to tell you the time space that happens as well shortly. But you need to detoxify, and that's a part of what happens with sleep. So you need good night's sleep to help with that. So disturbance during any of the sleep cycle can cause a lot of issues. So if you have any type of disturbance in your sleep, it can cause issues with giving you fatigue, like I said before, brain fog, all of these things, memory, even weight loss. So we're talking about eating and being healthy, and a lot of people, again, consider weight loss as a concern for them. If you're not sleeping, it's going to affect your weight. Yeah, it's going to affect your weight. And again, you're going to be irritable. That's one of the questions that we had just talked about. So guys, you want to keep that in mind. So when we think about the things that are happening with our sleep, as far as the disorders, right? So we have what's called insomnia. You guys have heard of insomnia. And there's two different stages or two different types of insomnia. You have the onset, which happens at first. When you're first laying down, you just can't seem to fall asleep. That's the first and one that a lot of people struggle with. But the second one is sleep maintenance or insomnia, where you're not able to maintain your sleep. So you keep waking up. You're getting up throughout the night. And that's also a part of insomnia. And we're going to get into why in a minute, guys. So just hang tough. But I can tell you right now that for the first one, where we are having a hard time falling asleep, usually related to stress. And what you can do with that is you can do what's called like a brain dump, right? So if you find that you're not able to, and I even do this with prayer. If I'm praying and I'm thinking about a whole bunch of things, I just pause and I brain dump. Because sometimes you want to do something, but you're so preoccupied with something else. Pause what you're doing. So for example, you're going to bed at night. You can't seem to fall asleep. You have all these things running through your mind. It's okay to get up for 5 minutes, write down whatever it is that you need to write down, journal, or just put down whatever it is you need to put down on a piece of paper, because it's running through your mind. And that's called brain dumping. And that's usually affecting folks in the first stage, right? That's stress. It's called stress. You're stressing about a lot of stuff. Or get up and pray. Do something that's going to help you, right, to get back asleep. And like I said, the maintenance one generally comes because of food. So you're not eating the right foods. You are consuming things like caffeine after a certain time in the day. And we're about to get into all of that right now. So insomnia is one type. I'm only going to cover two, which is insomnia and sleep apnea. Sleep apnea happens to a lot of people. That's basically you're having massive issues. If you happen to have sleep apnea, guys, I want to encourage you, because you literally, the breath is not getting through the airways from 10 to 20 seconds. That's something that you don't want to fool around with, because you need to breathe. Your airways need to be clear. So if you happen to have sleep apnea, make sure you go see your doctor. I don't even want to get too much into that, because, you know, you need to check in with an actual doctor if you're dealing with anything around sleep apnea. All right, guys, next thing I'm going to talk about is what's called circadian rhythm. Now, circadian rhythm is super important, something that a lot of people might have heard about, but don't know enough about. And I'm going to try to run through that really quickly and get right into the foods to eat and foods to avoid in just a minute. But I kind of want to mention that because it's one of the key pieces to this whole thing. All right, so what is circadian rhythm? That's basically your body's internal clock, right? So circadian rhythm basically keeps you balanced. And there's two hormones here that when we think about circadian rhythm, one is melatonin and the other one is cortisol. So melatonin is sort of like helping you to go to sleep, right? And the cortisol is basically waking you up. So one is helping you to go to sleep and one is helping you to wake up. The balance between those two is basically what's basically called the circadian rhythm. Now, there's a lot of imbalance in the melatonin, for example, specifically because of all of these different things that are affecting our bodies, right? And so if we're not able to regulate things like light, which is what I really want to talk to you guys, one of the main things I want to talk to you guys about right now. So when you first, the best way to manage your circadian rhythm, right, which is the body's internal clock, something that you have to think about, right? When you wake up in the morning, one of the advice I want to give you, one of the tips, the biggest tips, if you don't remember anything else, I want you to remember this. When you first wake up, please go outside. I know. Do not pick up your phone. Leave your phone alone. Get outside and get some sunlight. Don't even put on your dark glasses, right? Keep your eyes, let the sun hit your eyes because it's going to jolt your system and let your body know that it's morning time. Because what happens is the body acknowledges light, right? So your retina, basically your eyes is recognizing light. It knows that it's morning time, okay? And if you guys want me to go into circadian rhythm for a full show, it's that much information, I can do that, but we're just gonna skim the surface today. So when you wake up in the morning, you go outside, you jolt your body, you're getting that first set of natural light, which is really good. Your body knows that it's morning. It's basically starting the flow of your day. Okay, what you do throughout the day obviously is going to affect your sleep at night. A lot of people happen to think that it's what you do right before you go to bed that matters. It's what you do throughout the entire day. And so this piece, early in the morning when you get up and you go activate your system to let your body know that you're awake. Of course, brush your teeth, wash your face and everything before you go outside. But make sure you go outside, get that natural sunlight. Also, because vitamin D is very key to you getting a good night's sleep. A lot of people, and the studies have been done, who do not get a good night's sleep have low vitamin D levels in their blood. All right, so I want you guys to be aware of that. So you first want to get up, you want to get some sunlight. This is something you can do no matter where you are. If you're traveling, wherever you are, just get up, get outside for a few minutes. If you can spend 30 minutes outside at that point, that would be great. A lot of people who have a backyard or who have a patio or a fire escape, whatever you have, step outside, bring your tea with you, go for a walk, whatever it is that you can do to get some sunlight in the morning, and also somewhere in the middle of the day or before you go to sleep would also be really, really good. That's optimal. That has been proven to be one of the best things to help people actually get a good night's sleep. Resetting their circadian rhythm. What is actually optimal is if you can rise with the sun and go watch the sunset as well. That's what they're saying, is that if you can see the sunrise and see the sunset, also because the light that it's emitting, right? It's emitting an orange red light. And that's why we also recommend that if you're able to dim the lights at night in your house, right? You know, and I'm going to get to these tips, but dim the lights at night in your house because light really tells your body to stay awake. And that's what it's doing with the melatonin. It's telling it to stay awake, right? And so you want to make sure that you do that. That's very, very key. Get outside, kickstart your body, kickstart your day. And then the other thing is you want to eat at a certain time during the day. So a lot of times you're waking up and you're eating your biggest meal. Let's talk about dinner. You're eating your biggest meal at dinner. Now that is not a good idea, okay? When you eat your largest meal at dinner, especially if you're eating past, I want to say 7 o'clock, okay? The digestive system, the body is basically, I see some comments here. I'm not sure why I'm not able to see them. So someone is saying, what about folks who work the third shift? Tough situation for night shift. Yeah. So definitely, guys, that's huge question just brought up by Michelle, saying that it's hard for people who are sleeping, who have to go to work at a certain time. Now, the body can readjust itself based on your schedule. You just have to make sure you're getting a set amount, those 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Now 9 is kind of a lot for adults, but if you are able to lock yourself into like 7 hours, that's optimal. So if you happen to have that night shift, you can still be in some type of circadian rhythm. Now the body does do the detoxing of the liver between a certain time, between 1 and 3 a.m. So those hours are critical, and it's a hard thing for people who have that schedule. And that's something I can try to get back to you guys about, some tips for how you can manage that, right? Because clearly not everybody have the same schedule. Not all of us have the same work schedule and sleep schedule. But if you happen to be on a standard, whether it be 9 to 5, or you're able to get home before a certain time, your goal will be to eat before, and I would tell people, if you can't eat by 6 o'clock, it's better. Now, the body during the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., that's the optimal time for our digestive system. People are on intermittent fasting, and I understand all of that, but if you can, and I'm not telling you to eat dinner at 4, but that's a time that the body is at optimal for digesting food, right? So if you're able to eat early and then get to your bed at a certain time, it's also a really good thing for the body, right? So here are the tips as far as when it comes to the circadian rhythm, right? You want to get up, go outside, get the sunlight. Start early. You also want to exercise. I know it sounds like, why am I? You need to exercise because it's going to help your circadian rhythm. It's going to help your physical health. It's going to help you to, if you need to lose a couple of extra pounds. And for people who don't normally exercise, start at 5 minutes walking every morning. 5 minutes. Then incrementally increase it, right? Every day, add an extra 2 to 3 minutes, or however you want to do it. But start somewhere. Get your body moving, right? One day I'm going to do class with you. We should do like an exercise class one day. But you got to keep your body moving. This morning I got up. I was not feeling like doing it, but I got up. I committed to myself that I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to be around. And so you know what I did? I got up and I went outside and I did my run. I did 2 miles. Now my commitment to myself, run at least 4 times a week and once on the weekend, right? So I run and I do some type of weight training as well. So that's what I've committed to myself, and so far I've been sticking to it. Sometimes it's hard because things happen, your schedule shift, but you have to commit to your body. This is the one body, guys, that you've been blessed with, and you have to care for it the best way you know how. And what was happening with me, I was putting work, a lot of all these things. I'm a highly driven person. I strive for success. I work on a lot of different projects, but at the same time, those things are important, but my health comes first. If I'm not healthy, I cannot fulfill any of the obligations that I've committed myself to. So it's the same with you. You've committed yourself to not only your jobs, but to your family, to your children, right? So you want to be around, and also to your purpose. Whatever your purpose is on this earth, you have to fulfill it. I see a question that said, I sleep 10 hours because of muscle relaxers and I still feel low energy. There could be other things going on in your body, and that was from that comment came from, let's see, from Sunshine. Yeah, Sunshine. So what's happening is some of the things that the body is lacking could be vitamin B12, it could be iron, and it could be the vitamin D that we just mentioned, right? So if your body did not have all these vitamins and minerals, you're going to constantly feel exhausted. Okay, remember last week when we talked about iron? Iron is what helps the blood to circulate. It gives you energy. If you lack iron in your blood, you're not going to be able to function properly. See, all this stuff ties together. Okay, and that's why nutrition, all these things are important, and sleep overlaps with nutrition, and that's why I wanted to cover it, because some people may say, and some people reached out to me and said that, such and such, I'm sleeping X amount of hours. So it was a lot of these confusion around sleep, and that's why I was like, let's talk about it, because when you understand sleep, you really can know, let me first check if my sleeping thing is right, and then I can start looking into other areas. Once you start getting your sleep, it's like somebody emailed me and said, I feel so much better. I started taking the iron. I started doing the molasses in the morning. And it's been a week. I did that show a week ago, and she said she feels so much better. So when you make these changes, guys, you really can see results. You see results really fast sometimes as well. So I want you to think about that. All right. Another question. Pain is a part of my life. And probably that is why you're probably staying up late at night as well. Let me see if I could see. There's someone else making a comment here. So both me and 9-year-old daughter struggle to sleep at night. Especially my daughter, she don't like to sleep at night. Yeah, so when it comes to, I presume she's a teenager. You said 9 years old. I'm sorry, you said 9 years old. Yeah, some people feel like they're missing something. And it's hard to just say that, but this is what I would suggest that you try. So bring her out in the morning, first of all, like we just said, for the circadian rhythm to reset, right? Get her out in the morning, go for a walk with her if you can. Find a nice place where you can go for a walk, all right? When you come back, you want to have a nice breakfast, a healthy breakfast, which would be lots of fruits, oatmeal, things like that, right? Processed foods is going to hammer down on the body, but if you eat it later, the worse it is. So if you are planning on having a bacon, lettuce, and cheese or whatever it is, have it earlier. All right, I don't encourage that. You guys know that already. So I'm telling you, have a nice breakfast, which is like fruits, oatmeal, stuff like that. And then for lunch, you can have a heavy lunch, and you know, whatever your lunch would be. And then at night, have a lighter meal. Tonight we're gonna do something very light. That's why I'm also still going, because our meal is gonna be 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. We're gonna be done. So the later meal, and then at night she should not be on any devices. If she's on any devices, that's causing the problem because of the blue light. Okay, blue light is a problem. There is actually, and I'll share it on My Temple Wellness. I'll provide all the resources on here on Jamaicans.com and also on My Temple Wellness, guys. There is something that you can do to remove the blue light from your devices. I'll share the name of that. But also you can just turn it off. You know, 8 o'clock at night is a good time to say, hey guys, let's shut down, let's get a book, let's play a board game. We have some board games that we play, Ludi or whatever it is, and then you get a nice time with family, right? So I would suggest that to you, that you make these changes, and I'm gonna continue to give you more solutions here, but you know, get up in the morning, get that sun, so you can get your melatonin levels going. You can balance, because otherwise it's going to be an issue. All right, and then you're eating at a certain time. You're making sure that your body is able to digest early. I'm going to run through the foods in a second. So how can you help your circadian rhythm? I have them down. I did not want to forget any, so I'm going to go over them with you guys right now. Let's go over that right now. So we said, okay, so let's go over them. Morning, first thing in the morning, before you, and I said this already, before you turn on the phone or look at the news, watching TV, make sure you go outside for 15 minutes. I had said 30, but 15 minutes is also good. Go for a walk with your children, or if you happen to have a pet, go for a walk with your pet. Meet a friend, socialize. That's good for you as well. Exercise, and try to do the exercising before lunchtime. All right, that was me today. I had a meeting early this morning. I was up on Zoom for an hour and a half, I think. And by the time I was finished, I was, you know, I would have preferred to have gone for my run before the meeting, because after the meeting, you're already in the flow. You feel like you're in the flow of doing work. But I got up anyway, and I said, I don't care. I'm going to go get this running, because I just know how good it makes my body feels. So get your exercise in, preferably at that time. So that's the morning. In the afternoon, eat your lunch outside. Once again, if you can, eat outside. You're going to get the sunlight, which is great for you. Vitamin D, which is really essential for good sleep health. People who are not sleeping have low levels of iron and vitamin D and B12 in their body. Stop drinking coffee before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Ideally, if you can stop at 12 noon, that would be really good. Now, coffee and any kind of tea that have caffeine in it. So anything that has caffeine, sports drinks, all of those things, guys, after 12 o'clock, you want to cut all of those out of your you want to cut those out, because those are going to take effect at night. You know, and again, remember, what you do all day matters to your sleep. It's not what you do 20 minutes before you got your bed, right? It's what you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to your bed. That's what all of these things count, right? So so avoid the caffeine, avoid all the teas that are with caffeine in them before 12 or no later than 2 o'clock. Right? Me personally, I can't drink coffee because I'm already sort of like an excitable person. So if I drink coffee, you could just forget it. You wouldn't be able to put up with me. I'm just going to be bouncing off the walls. Avoid chocolate. So I like dark chocolate. And dark chocolate is great, but if you have it at night, if I ever make the mistake of having dark chocolate at night, it has things in it that is going to affect your sleep. So do not drink, do not have any chocolate late at night. Or let's say, what's that other thing? Hot chocolate. We like hot chocolate, but hot chocolate have a lot of sugar in it. All right, and it makes you feel warm and cozy. Oh, I'm gonna have some hot chocolate with my blankie and watch a movie. No, don't do it. It's bad. It's going to mess you up. It's going to mess up your sleep. And these comforts, these things that we find comfort in, it's really, really great, but we don't realize what it's doing to our sleep, and the sleep affects our health. Okay, so we have to start paying close attention, eyes wide open on our habits. Observe your habits. And if you guys want some more information and a little bit more of a workshop on it, I can give you guys a little workshop because I'm doing actually took a master class on sleep, and so that's where I'm able to give you guys a lot of this information from. I studied it when I was in school, but not to this level. So I'm taking a master class, took a master class, and that's how I'm able to actually give you guys all this information about sleeping. And as far as, so we spoke about what to do in the morning, in the evening, and now, morning, afternoon. Let's talk a little bit about what to do in the evening, which I've been mentioning along the way. So, sanctify your bedroom for all the married couples, guys. Okay, now what does that mean? That means that your bedroom is for sleeping. Your bedroom is for making love, right? Your bedroom is not there for you to work. Like, I am guilty sometimes. I bring my laptop in the bed, clicking. And I had to get advice from a friend because it was just like, I can't do this. And my husband told me, you can't bring the computer to the bed. So a little bit more about me. Again, you guys learn so much about me when you tune in. So yeah, don't bring the computer into your bedroom. Make sure your bedroom is like your safe space. It should smell good. When you walk in there, you literally should be like floating, right? It literally should be like that for you guys. So take the computer out of the bed. You read, if anything, read. Play card, stuff like that. If you want to, spend some fun time in your bed other than doing those other things that we do. Grown folks. All right. Anyway, use a red light app on your phone that gradually blocks the blue light. So again, I will provide that information for you guys to block the blue light from your phone so you don't get that blue light on you, because the blue light is a big part of the problem with tech. So computers, TVs, all these devices that are being made, they're fabulous. Our technology is just so amazing, but it's messing us up. It's like double-edged sword, right? So really think about that, because that's a huge part of the problem. Right before you go to bed, you scroll. I'm guilty. You're scrolling through Instagram, you're going on Facebook, you're checking one last time, you're reading text messages. Turn off your phone at 8 o'clock. Try to leave it outside your bedroom if you can. Whatever it is that's happening can actually wait till the morning. Think about that. It can actually wait until the morning. You want to know why? Because what can you do anyway? You find out something. What can you do at 9 o'clock at night? You're going to jump in your car and drive and fix whatever problem that might have come up. It's fine. Let it work itself out. Pray about it. But leave the phone off. 8 o'clock is my suggestion. Turn it off. Worst case scenario, 9 o'clock. And turn off the TV also. All right. Do the work, whatever work it is, do it for the next day. Eat your last meal no later than 7 p.m. All right. You guys always see me trying to run off the live so I can go eat. Eat before 7. If you can eat before, very good idea. Also with your water, make sure you're drinking your water early. Finish drinking your water early, because that's a lot of times we're waking up to go use the bathroom, right? So drink your water early. Get your water. Normally, if you're tracking your water, I'll show you guys what I use. So I'll use like one of these jars, and it has tells me this is 3 cups. So I tend to want to drink, I do 2 or 3 of these a day, but I'm also eating fruits and vegetables, right? So I'm getting my allotted amount of water early in the day, and by like 5-6 o'clock, I'm done with my water. And I'll still sip a little bit, because it's important to have a little bit of water, right before bed, but not too much water. All right. Again, dim your lights at 8 o'clock. So turn off all your lights in your house. Don't have all the lights running, because it's going to keep you wired. It's going to keep you that wired and tired. You're going to be just wired. All right. So, and then also magnesium, which if you can do like an Epsom salt bath and magnesium bath, if you have a bathtub, try and do that also. And do that after 8 o'clock, and that will bring you way down. A lot of the foods that we're going to talk about, which I'm going to jump into quickly because we're running out of time. See why I said we need 2 shows on this? It's so much. I didn't even cover it. I'll cover all of it. And Okay, so let's get right into the foods right now, right? Let's get right into the foods now. So that is one thing, and then okay, hold on a second. Yeah, okay, I think we went through, okay, let's go about the foods that are bad, and then we'll go about the foods that are good, right? So obviously we already said caffeine. That's going to give you the effects of having an insomnia. You're going to get nervous also, and restlessness, and even stomach irritation from having too much caffeine, and also drinking the caffeine at a certain time, which we've already said that. Your digestion, I said this earlier, 50%, so you're capable of digesting. The best part of the day to digest your food is between 10 and 4. However, at night, your capabilities to digest the food diminish to 50%. So you're not able to fully digest late at night. Okay, you can, but it's going to be very slow. It's going to be very, very slow. All right, because your body's trying to do other things at night. It's trying to detox and take care of itself. So you have to keep that in mind. Having hamburgers, these are foods you don't want to eat. Chicken and beef, and having a lot of it. Now, having a large plate of food also, guys, as you would imagine, is going to play a huge role. And especially if you eat and then lay down, forget it. A friend of mine called me the other day and was saying that he was struggling with, having issues in his stomach. And his problem was laying down right after he eat. So you can't lay down right after you eat, guys. Even if you're on the couch and you find yourself kind of like slouching, it's still better than laying all the way down. So do not lay down after you have a meal. It's going to come back up. That's going to cause a lot of issues, acid reflux and GERD, what they call GERD. So you don't want to do that, all right? And that will also stop you from sleeping, okay? Because your body's going to wake you up. It's just what's going to happen. Obviously, bacon, saturated fats, anything with saturated fats, not good for the body. Obviously, not good for... A lot of things we're saying is just generally not good for the body, but it's also worse when you're trying to get a good night's sleep. All right, so energy drinks, we mentioned those. Any type of sugary beverages or cake. Let's talk about dessert time after you eat your meal, right? Everybody want to have a slice of cake or have some cookies or something right before they go to right after dinner, but it's a challenge when you're trying to get a good night's sleep, guys. All right, so you want to make sure you're not doing a lot of sweeteners and all that. Alcohol is a huge issue for folks who are sleeping. Not only because it's going to keep you up, but because the liver is trying to get rid of and deal with the alcohol. If you happen to consume, because some people say, I'm just going to have a drink and put myself to sleep. No, do not do that, because it's giving your liver a lot of work. And if your liver has to do all this work to take care of it, you find that you're waking up. And the time, it's funny because they've said that you're waking up at a set time. A lot of times if you find yourself waking up between 1 and 3, it has to do with your liver function. So it could be that your liver, you've eaten too much. It could be you've eaten high toxic foods. You're eating foods that have a lot of inflammation. So between those hours, 1 and 3, the studies that have been done shows that people who are having any type of strain on their liver, they're waking up between those hours. So keep an eye on that too. Look at the time that you happen to wake up and say, oh wow, what did I have? Was it something that was heavy for my body? Did I drink any alcohol? Whatever it is, you want to pay close attention to that. And then, it's good to have high fiber foods, but so vegetables and all of that is good if you're eating late, but high fiber foods like broccoli is going to take a little bit longer for your body to digest the later it gets. Now let's get into the foods that you guys can eat and that should be eating. Some of the stuff that I have here. So we have kiwi, right? So kiwi is really good. And right now kiwi is in season. I love to buy seasonal food, so guys, get kiwi if you can find it. Have it an hour before you go to bed or even earlier. It's going to help you to sleep well. Okay, so kiwi has great magnesium. It has great vitamins and minerals that are great for sleeping. Now, I also want to recommend a couple of teas that I personally use. So you want to use chamomile tea. If you have chamomile tea, it's going to be really good. I have a cup here called Cup of Calm. Not sure we're going to get to the meal tonight, guys, but this is important. Cup of Calm. This is what I use. It's calming for relaxation, and it has passion flower, which is another great tea that if you cannot find the chamomile tea, get the passion flower, and it has chamomile and lavender. So this is a tea that has all the great relaxation herbs in it. I find this on Amazon. You guys know my thing. I'm not promoting a brand, but if you want to get this one, it's a good one. Now, obviously, if you're having extreme issues and you just cannot sleep, nighty night tea. This one is good, but you have to drink this several hours before you go to bed. All right, so you can't drink it right before your bed because it's not going to work. And the instructions are usually on the box on how you can take that. This is like an emergency tea if you just feel like you didn't have a good night's sleep the night before and you want to kind of make sure tonight you have a good night's sleep. You start drinking this from like 6 o'clock, and by the time 10 o'clock comes around, you're jawbungy. All right, so cup of calm, nighty night, another good tea. And if you happen to have digestive issues, guys, Dandelion Root is a great tea. I've been recommending this for a while now. You drink this tea to help your digestive system, right? After you eat, if you feel like you need an extra, maybe you ate too much, Dandelion Root, dandelion tea is going to help you. It's good for the body as well. This is a natural plant, okay? If you find it in the store, buy it. It's really, really good. So check this one out. Dandelion, good for digestion. And everything else that I have here is for my salad that I'm going to throw together right now. Guys, so basically what I want to tell you is that your meal, last thing that I'm going to say before we get into that, is the meals that you're going to be preparing, they need to be, so the meals you're going to be preparing, guys, you need to have half of your plate needs to be vegetables, okay? It needs to be stuff like kale and spinach and all of that. Quarter of your plate needs to be carbohydrates. So for example, today I have a salad, right? And I'm going to let you guys know right now that this is what I do. I make a salad, like let's say and this is a BPA free container that I use. I make a salad like at the beginning of the week. This was made yesterday. Now we put salad on pretty much every plate that we have. Tonight the dinner is going to be salad, a big salad. And in here you have all sorts of greens and cabbage and everything like that, all raw, because I'm healing my body. I'm eating to heal. I'm eating to help my body to do well. And so these kind of things are good. So with a salad, the other thing, again, we don't have time to make it, guys. What I'm going to be adding in my salad are other things that are helpful for sleeping. Almonds are great for sleeping. Okay, so that's going to help you with sleeping. Everything that's in it is good for a peaceful rest at night. You have walnuts, great for the brain, but also really good for helping you to sleep. And then let's just check to make sure that I'm covering everything. Red grapes, even though it has some sugar, I would eat that much earlier if you can. Now, if you happen to wake up at night and you feel like you need a snack, I'm gonna say have a couple of almonds or walnuts. I wouldn't say to go eating anything else. Really, it's hard because if you're waking up at night and you're feeling hungry, you're having some type of you're having some other issue that has to do with your blood, okay? And so that's something that we'll have to talk about next time because we're running out of time. And I was quite ambitious with all the information I wanted to provide to you guys tonight because it's a lot of really good material, but we cannot get to all of it. If you happen to be eating fish, guys, just to say, fatty fish is good, but you have to watch out for mercury, so don't eat fish all the time. But fatty fish is also good for when you're trying to get a good night's sleep because of the vitamin D that's in it as well. That's really good. And sweet potato, which is going to be a part of my dinner tonight. It's in my oven here. So sweet potato is really good, guys. This is a great portion. So your plate, half of your plate should be vegetables. Quarter of your plate should be, so that's the non-starchy vegetables. And then your starch can be a sweet potato, some sweet potato. That's for quarter of your plate. And then the rest is going to be for your protein. So remember, palm size for your protein, guys. Palm size. I know you can't have 2 big pieces of chicken. Palm size for your protein. And then your healthy fat, which avocado is around here somewhere. So it would be avocado on the plate. So a healthy salad with lots of nuts and seeds, with some sweet potato, right? A little bit of olive oil. That's another healthy fat. That's going to be the plate that we're going to be doing this evening. Unfortunately, we are out of time. And so I thank you all for watching. I'm going to continue next week on this topic. I'm going to delve in more. If you have questions, remember you can email me. Follow me on My Temple Wellness. I did not get to look at all of you all that are here. Michelle, Charmaine, stay off device before sleep. Yep, that's a good one. Great conversation. Kay Scott, I tried coconut condensed milk. I love it. I can only get rid of my other demon rice. Okay, listen, Kay, we're gonna work on that together. I love when you guys come back and share your stories. It's great. Jennifer, great information. Michelle, good to know. Marlene, I wake up to go to the bathroom. Yeah, a lot of us do, and it's a struggle, right? So yeah, guys, I'm gonna answer all your questions. If you have them, put them in the comments. It's now 7 p.m. So I'm gonna skedaddle and make sure I eat early and go to my bed early so I can get a good night's sleep. But I love all of you. Tune in next week, Monday. I'm going to continue on sleep. We're gonna talk some more about it. And once again, feel free to let me know if you want a particular topic. I do honor when folks ask. I do honor those. And also follow My Temple Wellness. If you're not following Jamaicans.com and you're over here watching, make sure you follow them too, all right? So follow My Temple Wellness on Instagram and on Facebook. I love you all. Share this with someone. And again, I'll see you all next Monday. Love when no bad, all right? See you. Sorry I'm not eating this week. Next week.